That's coming up in just a little bit. Moving on to the sirloin steaks. Here we have item M80281. We have 6 or 12 of the 6-ounce black Angus sirloin steaks. The 6 count is on 5 easy payments of $15.80. And the 12 count is on 5 easy payments of $28.40. So that's a $16 savings if you go for the 12 count. And also, just to kind of keep that in line for everybody, the 12 count is under $12 per steak. So where are you going right now that you can get under $12 a steak for a black Angus?
Not anywhere with this quality.
Sirloin,
right.
Exactly.
I was going to say maybe a diner in the middle of nowhere, right? And you're going to get a piece of meat that probably won't look like steak when it comes out to your plate, but not anywhere where you get this quality of a piece of steak for under $12 if you get the 12 count. And again, all black Angus beef, born, raised, and harvested in the United States, product of USA, that has been corn-fed, right? Pasture-raised and corn-fed, and it's just going to deliver this beautiful texture that ensures that when we bite into it, Brittany, you can see this one's kind of like medium well, but it's still juicy, right? Even if you want to eat your steak just like you see here, medium well, still juicy, but also still so tender that you can just take your fork and you can cut right through it with your fork, right? So again, it all is because where we start with, and I'm gonna let you bite into that if you like.
Thank you.
Where the raw material comes from, where this black Angus beef comes from, and this all comes from farmers that we have done business with for the last 45 years in the Midwest of the United States, which is kind of the heartland corn belt of our country, right? And these folks have been raising these animals this way for generations and generations, and that's why we can absolutely just trust these folks are going to deliver an incredible steak each and every time.
And this is a steak that you can eat end to end. This isn't one of those steaks that...
Let's jump right into it, actually.
Okay.
I think this is a great visual. And, you talked about that just a second ago. If you like a lean steak, you don't want to fight with kind of all the fat and things like that after you're cooking your steak and you're about to enjoy it. This is absolutely the steak for you. If you want something that's lean, very flavorful, but also very well marbled, this is the steak. This is what we call a whole sirloin, right? So this has actually been already cut into thirds. It typically is about 3 times the size of this. But this is what it looks like when we trim off all the stuff that you don't want to eat. We end up with a piece of meat that's about 2.5 pounds. From that point, we kind of take a little bit off the end. This is where we'll make our sirloin cubes from. But then from there, we make these beautiful 6-ounce steaks, Brittany. And this is what it looks like when it comes to you, right? So you get this steak that's incredibly lean. There's no fat around the outside. Each and every side you're going to see is just the same. So as you cook this, it's going to get more and more tender. One thing about the sirloin that I love is actually it's more tender if you cook it even a little bit longer, right? Medium well, it's more tender than it is even at a rare form. So if you're the type of person that likes your steaks done medium like I do, this is absolutely the right steak for you. But again, it's 6 ounces in size, which is already big, but you're going to eat from one end to the other because there's absolutely no fat on it, and you're going to just absolutely love it.
So this is one of my favorite steaks to do over a salad.
Right.
Again, I like to skip the bun a lot. We're not doing just like a regular starch and vegetable night. This truly is one of my favorites. So what I do is I cut the steak up, we fan it out like we're fancy, even though it's just us at home and our son and our daughter. But they have become really interested in what we're eating now as well.
They have, and our son actually loves steak, right? And this is his favorite steak because he's still only 7 years old. He doesn't like things that have, a little bit more fattiness to them, like a ribeye, for instance, would. Although I like that steak a lot because I just do enjoy that part of it. But for our kids, they like something that's very lean, very flavorful, and at the same respect has to be tender. If it's not tender, they just won't eat it because they're still young and they want to be able to just, not have to deal with that. But you could see, look at the steak as I cut it. This one's kind of the perfect medium, Brittany. Look at how tender this is. Look at how
perfect. That's absolutely perfect for me.
To a perfect medium, and this is what's going to enjoy just an absolutely incredible experience each and every time. And you can just see the amount of moisture that's coming out of this, right? This is a lean steak, but it's still has that much moisture and it's that flavorful. What also I meant to tell you that we didn't explain earlier is these steaks are also going to come with our Rastelli signature seasoning. So this seasoning is just like you see here. You're going to tear off the top of it. It's a resealable pouch, right? So one of the great things my father would tell you if he was on air is just a little tip of how to season your steaks. You want to get your steaks to room temperature. So when you receive them at home, each one's going to be individually vacuum packaged like you see here, 6 ounces in size. So you're going to get either 6 or 12. But again, take these out of your freezer, put them in your refrigerator. You can see how large they are. Let them thaw out. They'll take typically about anywhere from, 2 to 4 hours, maybe a little bit longer in your refrigerator to thaw out. But if you're in a pinch, run them under cold water. They'll thaw out really fast. Put them on your counter, get them to room temperature, then open your seasoning up. I actually have some open here already. And just sprinkle it on top of the steak, right? You can do it just before you're going to cook it. You can do it while it's on the grill, or you can do it just after. But you mentioned a little bit earlier, I like my steaks plain, and I like it that way without steak sauce and things like that because I've grown up eating this quality of beef, which has just taught me that if you have the absolute best quality from the start, you don't have to cover it with sauces and steak sauce and all these kind of things to make it taste better. You have a great piece of meat. All you need is a little bit of salt, pepper, and garlic, and that's exactly what we've given to you in this Rastelli signature steak season. On top of that, all of our Rastelli products now are coming with this beautiful cooking guide. And Brittany, I know you and our father took the time and the whole team here, the whole marketing team and everybody spent countless hours to bring this to market, right? And we did that because we wanted to give you many different tips from how to store it, how to thaw it, how to really cook it to perfection like you're seeing here in the different temperatures. So this will just allow you to really understand, number one, the quality, what makes Rastelli so much different than everybody else, but at the same respect, have lots of kind of great tips of cooking temperatures. I love this one, right? So if you want, maybe you don't understand what medium or well done should look like, well, we show you that to you in here. So this is going to be a lot of great information, and I highly recommend you keep that even after you're done enjoying these steaks.
And Ray, you and your dad always refer to the sirloin steak as the everything steak because this is the kind of steak that you can use as a base in a lot of your favorite recipes.
Certainly.
So we have the kebabs here. So this is something that you cut up into cubes before we cooked it, which allows them to cook very, very fast. So if I could give you a tip when it comes to kebabs, blanch your vegetables before you go ahead and cook these, or else the steak is going to cook faster than that. So kebabs are always a great option. Put them over a fresh salad. I just showed you my favorite, right? I know this is yours too, the mozzarella and tomato.
I mean, look at that salad, Brittany. It is a beautiful salad, probably for two.
Absolutely.
One steak, you can see how large the salad is. One steak, that's not even a whole steak, so I still have some left on the plate here, but one steak was more than enough for you to have a great steak salad for you and your spouse or your significant other, right? These are going to go a long way because it's the sirloin steak. It's our everything steak. They're incredibly lean. This is the steak you want to have in your refrigerator or in your freezer at all times because, like you said, Brittany, if it's a Saturday and you have some friends coming over and you need to make something special, take one of these steaks out, right? And in just a matter of minutes, you can take it, cook, whether you want to do it after it's been cooked or before, but cut it into cubes. Take a 6-ounce steak, and you'll get easily 10 to 12 large cubes from this. And then you could take a skewer and cut these beautiful kebabs. And that's how we end up with something like you see here. So we're going to have a lovely guest joining me in a second. But just to give you an idea, this is one kebab. This now has 3 pieces of sirloin steak on it. You're going to be able to make 4 of these with just one steak. So again, if you get the 6 or 12 count, even the 6 count, and you want to just make something like this, which your guests will absolutely love this summer, what a great way to have something special for barbecue while it's also still so easy to do. You don't have to put a lot of thought into this. Take these beautiful sirloin steaks, cut them into cubes, and you're ready to go. So again, just an absolutely incredible product. This was the very first item that Rastelli ever brought to QVC 5.5 years ago. And we've just been so lucky and so fortunate to enjoy every minute of it since. We absolutely are so just proud to be part of the QVC family and deliver these great products to you at home. But that sirloin steak is what started it all 5 years ago, and it's still going because our guests just absolutely love that steak. And they know each and every time that they pull it out of their freezer, they're going to have a great experience. So we're going to be moving on. Still to come.